Hi guys, welcome back to the Chronic Chronicles. If you're new here, I'm your host, Lexy, and this podcast is all about navigating life with chronic illness, but today we're taking a little bit of a detour to talk about something that's really been on my mind a lot lately, and that's letting go of control. We are diving into Mel Robbins Let Them theory, and I'm going to be really honest about how hard it has been for me as a type A personality. You know, the type of person that has a color-coordinated calendar, 12 different to-do lists at any time, and an uncontrollable urge to micromanage. Yeah, that's me. And it's kind of funny. I feel like as somebody with ADHD, a lot of times people are type B, like they kind of just let things go with the flow. They're a little bit more spontaneous because they're bebopping around all over the place. But I feel like for me, I made myself into a type A person because I can't get anything done if I don't make to-do lists or if I don't feel like I'm in control of things, because I feel like my brain is all over the place, that I want to be able to control as much as I can, if that makes sense. So if you're also a control enthusiast, or if you struggle with people-pleasing or over-explaining or overthinking, or you just have a hard time letting things be, you're in the right place. Today I'm sharing my take on Mel Robbins Let Them theory, which has also been kind of viral recently. I don't know, it's all over my TikTok. And kind of just learning how to let them has been both a relief and actually like a really big challenge for me. We're going to break down what this theory is, why it feels like it was personally designed to test type A people, and how we can actually put this into practice without feeling like the world is kind of spiraling into chaos. So grab your coffee, grab your tea, or whatever you want to do, and let's get into it. But first things first, I want to give you a little life update. I'm going to do like my weekly report. We haven't done that in a little while. So I'm reading Let Them by Mel Robbins. I've listened to her podcast for a while, but I've never actually read her book. So I thought that would be fun. So I've been reading that on my Kindle, and then I've also been reading The Mind-Gut Connection. I have like the physical book of it. I've picked this up. I've had this book for like 2 years actually, and I've like read bits and pieces of it, but I've never finished it. So I've been reading this. I was actually reading this while I was on my walking pad earlier, and it's actually really interesting. So once I finish that book, maybe I'll make like a post on Instagram about it. I mean, I always kind of knew that the mind and gut was connected, but this is real interesting. So yeah, I'll definitely make a post once I'm done. I've been eating more seafood, like salmon specifically, and I'm actually starting to like it. So yay, go me, because that's a healthy one. Playing, it's been starting to warm up a little bit. It's not like snowing and freezing in Seattle anymore, so I scheduled some time to go to the driving range. Last summer and fall, I was like getting into golf. I haven't actually gone golfing, like actually golfing, but I've been going to the driving range a lot, and I really like that. And the driving range that we have near us is actually so cute. They have like drinks and food and like games and stuff. So scheduled some time to do that. And then obsessing. I've been obsessing with Vox YouTube videos. Does anyone follow them or subscribe to them on YouTube? Because I absolutely love them. Last night I watched a video about the Amtrak trains and how they're like severely underfunded. And you know what? I agree. I mean, not that it's like an opinion. It's just fact. They are underfunded. But why does America not have like a high-speed train yet? When I went to Paris and we took a high-speed train through the frickin' ocean, in a tunnel, obviously, but to London, and it was like 2.5 hours, and we went hella fast. I don't actually know the exact speed that we went, but it was a high speed. Why doesn't America have that? Why does it take like 3.5 hours to get to Portland from Seattle? I want a high speed. Thank you. I want a high-speed train through the country. I want to leave from Chicago and come to Seattle fastly. I don't want it to take 72 hours. But I do really like trains and the like transit system. So anyways, I've been obsessing over Vox YouTube videos because they make videos about, like, everything. Like, I watched a video about inflation and, what else did I watch? Oh, about, what's killing the chickens right now? Bird flu. I watched a video about bird flu from Vox because I was like, where are all the eggs? I mean, I knew bird flu was going around, but I didn't realize that I literally wasn't going to be able to buy eggs. So I watched a video about it on Vox. Anyway, go subscribe to Vox YouTube. It's not sponsored by them, but I really like their videos, and they're, like, fast and informative. Anyways, I'm also obsessing with Severance. Don't know if anybody watches that show, but the second season is amazing. I love it. I love it. I love it. I think it might be the best, like, TV show in the past decade. Maybe forever. It's a really good show. So if you haven't watched Severance, go watch that and then DM me and tell me your opinion. It's so good. Okay, I'm recommending, like, fun mocktails. Like, go get an Olipop, go get a Poppy, go get a Sprite, whatever, and do, like, a cute little mocktail. I've been, like, mixing Element electrolyte packets and, like, some type of soda, like, probably an Olipop or a Poppy, but I also did ginger ale, and it was really good. And then, like, limes, lemons. I'm really into, like, a cute little mocktail, yummy drink. And then treating myself, a yummy coffee always. Like, I'm addicted to caffeine, and I'm sorry, I just can't give it up. I went down to, like, 1 coffee. Sometime today's a 2 coffee day, but I've went down to, like, 1 coffee, and I just am a sucker for a yummy coffee. I love it. It gives me joy, okay? There are some things that you just have to keep the joy. This is a little ASMR of my coffee. I might take that out, but it's so good. So anyways, treat yourself to a yummy coffee this week. Okay. In other news, I'm really excited to officially announce that I'm co-hosting an event in Seattle for Endometriosis Awareness Month. I'm so excited. I know in the episode recently, I did kind of, like, talk a little bit about this, but guys, I am so pumped. It's all about community, awareness, and supporting each other through the ups and downs of living with endo, and information, education. Get connected for free. Dude, what's going on with my brain today? But no, it's about, like, awareness and education and talking about endo, and I'm so excited. This event is sponsored by Some Days. I couldn't be more thrilled to partner with them to bring this to life. We're going to have amazing resources, real conversations, and, of course, some fun goodies for you to take home. Oh, and Some Days is bringing their pain period simulator, and they will be at the event. Hello? I'm jazzed. I'm so excited. So, like I said, they're going to be there with their period pain simulator. Bring your male friends. Bring your friends that don't experience pain, period pain, or endo pain. Because we're going to strap that baby on. And then maybe ask them questions while they're experiencing pain and see how they deal with that. Can you answer questions while you are cramping? Let's see. This is a ticketed event, and every ticket includes a crafting class with Jasmine, who's a small business owner in Seattle, where you get to make and take a self-care item. So, like, a lotion, a spray, a bath bomb. And it also includes a raffle ticket and then snacks and goodies. And then there's going to be a couple of other small businesses, like a jewelry booth, where you can kind of just bebop around and see what's going on, connect with people, drink some coffee, have some snacks, do this little, like, crafting class. The money for the tickets goes to the small businesses, so that's why it is a ticketed event. And then, obviously, there will be raffles for you to win some things. So whether you're living with endometriosis, supporting somebody who is, or you just want to learn more about endo, the event is for you. It's going to be an empowering day of connection and education. So mark your calendars for March 15th and keep an eye out on my social media for more details. The link to RSVP and to buy a ticket will also be in my show notes, so that way you can just click and attend. I can't wait to meet you guys in person and come together as a community. I am pumped. The Let Them theory. I don't know if you guys have been seeing this on social media as much as I have, but I think I originally listened to, I've been listening to Mel Robbins for a long time. I'm pretty sure my aunt told me about Mel Robbins like years ago when I was like a teenager. But anyways, the Let Them theory, I think I originally listened to like Mel Robbins' first episode about that like a long time ago. But she did like a resurgence of this. I don't know when. I actually just re-listened to the episode this morning because I was like, I want to re-listen. I want to see like, or maybe it was her newer episode on it. I don't know. I'll also tag it in the show notes. But I've also, like, I can't escape it on TikTok. It's all over my TikTok. So I was like, you know what? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the Let Them theory. So let's start with the basics. If you haven't heard of it before, Mel Robbins' theory is all about letting people be who they are without trying to change them or control them or pester them and ask why they are the way that they are. You just let them. And it's the idea that when somebody shows you who they are or how they feel, you just let them. You let them think what they want, feel how they feel, and do what they want to do without trying to influence the outcome. Sounds kind of liberating, right? Except if you're like me and you have a type A personality, this feels like a direct challenge to your very existence. Like, how the fuck am I supposed to let them? Why? I don't want to let them. I don't agree with them. I like things organized. I like predictability. I like knowing that if I do this thing, then this thing will happen. Or if I don't know that this thing will happen, then I sit there and overthink everything that could happen. And at least then I know that like one of these 5 outcomes will happen. So just letting them do whatever they want to do and not having control of the outcome, that sounds scary as hell. Or letting people think a certain way about you without like explaining why you might be that way. My anxiety is already rising. I can feel it. I have goosebumps. But here's the real kicker. Trying to control everything isn't just exhausting. It's also a losing battle. And Mel's point is that other people's actions are just a reflection of them. It's actually not a reflection of you. You can't control how people think or feel or act, and trying to do so just drains your peace. I don't know about you, but I could definitely use more peace. There's already so many things in my life that I can't control, and accepting that I can't control the way that people think or feel feels like I already actually do have more control. So if the thing that I'm talking about is wanting to control, then actually I'm gaining a little bit of control of myself by allowing people to do what they wanted to do. As a type A control enthusiast and overthinker, I've always felt this need to keep things organized and predictable and just not scary. It's just not about being productive or efficient. It's about feeling safe. For me, control equals safety. Having a plan equals safety. Knowing what people are thinking of me, or at least what I thought they were thinking of me, equals safety. If I can control the situation, then nothing can catch me off guard, right? I already have a response ready. Because I've already thought about all of the things that could happen. I've already overthought. I've already spent so much energy thinking about a response to anything that could possibly happen. But life doesn't work like that. And other people definitely don't work like that. And we can bring this back into the chronic illness world. We definitely don't have control over our symptoms. And sometimes when we don't have control over flares, it feels like we don't have control over our bodies or our lives, which might be part of the reason as to why I want to have control over everything else. Am I therapying myself? I've also heard this is off topic, but I've also heard a lot on social media about this thing where it's called like intellectualizing your feelings, and I feel like I actually do that a lot. Like, I have a feeling, and then I'm like, oh, why do I feel this way? Like, what happened in my life that would make me feel this way? And I feel like I just did that. But anyways, that's a different topic for a different day. So when Mel Robbins says to let them, my first thought was, are you actually kidding me? Like, how do you know are you actually kidding me? Do you know, like, how much could go wrong if I just let people do whatever they want? Like, do you know that the world could come crumbling down, Mel? But then, after years, not gonna lie to you, I think I've, like, known and, like, heard about Mel Robbins Let Them theory for years, and it's taken me until recently to, like, actually grasp it and, like, want to do something with it. So, but I finally realized that my need for control is actually really exhausting. It was making me responsible for things that I couldn't change or, like, just didn't need to fix. It was also giving people around me so much power. It was taking power away from me and giving power to other people, because by trying to understand so much about how people feel or why they act the way that they act, you're actually giving them so much of your time and sanity and power when they don't even want it, probably, first of all. But you're, like, giving these people, like, for example, if your friends come to you and they're like, hey, we don't like the way that you do this. Okay. And it's not something that's, like, hurting you or, like, you're hurting anyone else. Like, something basic. I don't know. I can't think of an example right now. But something like that. And you sit there over the next 6 days or 7 days or whatever, overthinking why they felt that way or what you can do to make them not feel that way or what you need to do to change whatever to make them feel better. Or maybe they don't invite you to brunch or something and you have to sit there and then you're like, oh, maybe I'm not doing enough in the friendship and I have to text them and I have to do all of this stuff and yada, yada, yada. But in reality, you could just let them. I'm not saying don't be a good friend or don't reach out or anything like that, but, like, if they wanted to invite you, they would have. Just let them. Let them think what they want to think. Let them not agree with whatever life decision you're making, because in reality, if you're not hurting anyone and it's not hurting you, and you were originally happy with your decision until they told you they don't like your decision, just let them. Let them be unhappy with it. If it makes you happy, keep doing it. You're giving people too much power over you and your thoughts and your stress levels. And it was taking away power from me because I spent so much time thinking about how other people are feeling or thinking about my decisions, when in reality, it doesn't really matter. For example, if someone didn't text me back right away, and years ago, it just doesn't really happen much anymore. I'd let this go. I tried to let this go. But in the past, if someone didn't text me back right away, I'd spiral into thoughts like, oh, they're mad at me, or what did I do wrong? And then I sit there and overthink everything I did in the past month. And I'm like, has this been happening for a long time? Like, am I a bad friend? Am I a bad person? Why didn't they text me back? And I'd start crafting this perfectly worded follow-up message to make sure that they weren't upset with me and to make sure that they thought I was a good friend. It's exhausting just thinking about it. Stop giving people so much power. Just let them do what they want to do and let them be how they want to be. The let them mindset challenges me to stop for a second and just let it be. I feel like I'm a work in progress, so I still do this sometimes, but, like, I'm an overthinker at heart, truly. And there are some times where it's kind of contradictory for how much I overthink, but there are some times that I just respond, like I'm emotional and I just respond in the moment to something that I might be upset about. And the let them theory actually helps that, because something might happen and then I just, like, pause and I stop for a minute and I'm just like, I don't have to over-explain that. I don't have to immediately react to that. I don't have to give them an explanation for that. I can just let them. And that's okay. To let people respond how and when they want and not make it about me is so freeing. And that's been really hard, because my type A brain loves to find solutions, even for problems that don't exist, and quite possibly create problems from overthinking. But the freedom I felt from just letting people be it's so worth the, like, difficulty of figuring out how to do this. It's a work in progress, but it's really worth it. Okay. I'm going to take a quick break to shout out one of my favorite brands that's helped me let go of some of my own struggles. Literally. I'm talking about Some Days, of course. If you've been listening for a while, you know that managing endometriosis pain is no joke. And Some Days Cramp Cream, one of my go-tos for getting through those painful, tough flare days. And their magnesium hot spell for baths is also a game changer. As somebody with endometriosis, chronic pelvic pain, heavy flares, heat, specifically hot baths, one of my favorite things. Like, that is like a no-go, or wait, is that the right thing? That is a non-negotiable for me when looking in a house or an apartment or somewhere new to live. There has to be a bathtub because I need to be able to take my hot baths. And the magnesium hot spell is amazing. It smells so good. It has magnesium. It has benefits for pain relief, for reducing inflammation, and it actually leaves your skin really soft after the bath, which is like an added benefit, you know. If you want to check them out, head over to somedays.com and use code Chronic Chronicles for a discount. Okay, back to the episode. I've been putting this theory into practice for a little while now, and let me tell you, it has been a journey. Like the time I over-explained my chronic illness to somebody who just like doesn't understand, and I used to feel so obligated to make them understand, to educate them until they saw my perspective, and to try to get them to like fully understand why I feel that way. The situation I'm talking about specifically is when a newer friend of mine, we'd only been friends for a couple of months, and I canceled plans last minute. Well, like an hour before our plans. And it was just going to like a happy hour. We didn't make reservations. Like, I would have tried to push through, but I was in a lot of pain. And I canceled our plans like an hour before because I was like, I just don't think I can go. Like, I'm in so much pain. I'm nauseous, blah, blah, blah. And I told them this. And they knew that I had endo. We'd talked about it before, but they don't have a chronic illness. And not saying, I think that people can still be friends with people that are not chronically ill if they are chronically ill. I have friends that aren't and that get it a little bit more, but sometimes like it's just difficult because they may not understand. And there are people that can be empathetic to that situation, but again, a different topic. So anyways, this particular example, I canceled our plans like an hour before our happy hour, and they got upset with me. They were like, you know, I work from home. I haven't hung out with anybody like all week. This was my one plan for the week, and I put you into my schedule and you're flaking out on me. Like, next time I'm going to need you to like tell me sooner, or can you just push through? And I get where they're coming from. I really do understand their perspective on that, like looking back on it. I did in the moment too. I understand. Like, it's not fun if you're looking forward to something to have somebody cancel on you last minute. It's really not. I totally understand where they're coming from. In the same breath, I was in pain and they don't experience that. So it was hard for me I didn't want them to feel like I was being a shitty friend. I didn't want them to feel like I didn't care about them or I didn't want to go, because I actually really wanted to go. I was looking forward to it too. It was disappointing for me too. So I tried to like over-explain and like tell them like, you know, this is really hard for me too. I'm really sorry. Like, I don't want to make you feel like that. I do want to hang out with you. And they just still didn't really get it. They were like, yeah, that's fine, but please don't do that again. Like, okay. We got over it. It's fine. But if this situation happened to me again, obviously I would apologize and still be a good person. But I think I would just stop after that. I would apologize and be like, I will try in the future to let you know sooner. I'm so sorry that I, am ditching our plans, and I understand you were looking forward to it. I really hope we can hang out again soon. I'd love to make another plan again soon. And I think that's it. I think I would just let them after that. I don't need to do all of these like long text messages explaining where I'm coming from and how I am a good person and how, I don't want to hurt their feelings, because we can just let them. let them think the way they want. Not everyone's going to get it, and that's okay. Their opinion doesn't change my reality. Their opinion on, that situation of them thinking that maybe I was flaky, a flaky friend, doesn't change the reality of my situation. The reality of, I don't think I am. I don't think I'm a bad friend. I don't think I'm a flaky friend. I think that every once in a while, my chronic illness gets in the way of my life and my plans, and it's disappointing for everybody involved. But I don't think that makes me a bad friend or a bad person, and that's okay. Their opinion of me does not change my life or my reality. It was really freeing to realize that I don't have to carry the emotional burden of convincing people to understand me. And seriously, we carry so much mentally and emotionally and physically already from being chronically ill or chronically in pain. Why would we want to spend more spoons on this? Right? Like, just don't. We don't have to. And it goes for smaller things too, like letting people show you who they are. If somebody stops inviting you to things, let them. Invite them to things if you want to be involved with them. But if people stop inviting you to things, let them. You're not in control of the way that they live their life. Their actions are about them, not you. It saves so much emotional energy to just let them. Quick shout out to another brand that I love, Octavia. If you're dealing with chronic pain, you need to try their CBD suppositories. They've been an absolute lifesaver for me during bad flare-ups. I know CBD can be a hit or miss, but Octavia uses really high quality, full spectrum CBD that actually works. And I keep them on hand. They're little. They can fit in any bag, purse, pocket, whatever. I keep them on hand for when my pain is at its worst. They're a game changer. Head over to heyoctavia.com and use code Chronicles for a discount. This, Let Them, and allowing myself to take back power, all of these things is still a work in progress for me, but I'm learning to lean into this discomfort of not having complete control. And it's really freeing. I'm loving this idea of just letting people be who they are and letting people show you who they are. And obviously, I want to preface that I'm not, holding grudges or anything like that. If people aren't inviting me to things or I'm getting my feelings hurt by the way that people are acting in certain things, then obviously, I can make the decision to proceed however I want. But, for example, if somebody doesn't invite me to, a Galentine's Day, and I'm upset about that, that's okay. I'm not in control of their guest list, but I can also take back some of that control and power, and I can have a Galentine's Day, and if I want to invite them, I can invite them. You also have that power. I don't know. Hopefully this all made sense, and let me know what you guys thought of my take on the Let Them theory. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with somebody who you think might need to hear it. And as always, thank you so much for joining me on the Chronic Chronicles. Until next time, remember just to let them.